Hey everyone, Lensman here. Welcome to another first look game. The devs were kind enough to give me a copy of this game here, shapes.io. It's by Tobias Springer and it was released on the 7th of June 2020. It's currently selling for about $6 Australian on Steam. It's fairly cheap. Cool little game. The idea is that it's like a basic Factorio, so it's about building factories to automate the creation and processing of increasingly complex shapes across an infinitely expanding map. So we'll get straight in and hit play. So here's the general gist of it. There is a tutorial down here, and it tells you, when you're starting out, what to do. You can zoom right out and you can see just how big the map is. So here is our hub. This is where we need to deliver our shapes to. So these things here, as it says here, is an extractor. We can click on this guy and we can come up here and you can use the AS, D and W keys here, and you can push R to rotate your building. So I'm going to rotate it this direction like so, and then we're going to pick up conveyor belt and we're going to left click and drag. Okay, and it's going to start producing shapes. Now, this doesn't want squares, it wants circles. So let's, wrong. I right clicked it, it's gone. There we go. There you go. So if we want to make this faster, I can hold down, place multiple is shift. So I can hold down shift and we can, rotate that around, and then we can go like this and run a whole bunch of them at once into here. Cool. So as it says down here, it's not an idle game. Build more extractors and belts to finish the goal quicker. Shift to place multiple extractors and R to rotate them. So there is a reason that I've gone ahead and there we go, we're at level 1. Gone ahead and added those squares because we do need them later, so we may as well have them coming into the machine. Alright, level 1 complete. Just unlocked the cutter. It cuts shapes half from top to bottom regardless of its orientation. So be sure to get rid of the waste, or otherwise it will stall. So it does split it into 2 belts, and it literally cuts it straight down the guts this way. So this is our next item. This wants halves, basically. So I'm going to do this real quick because, as I said, I know we're going to need them. Nothing's stopping me doing this. Right. So what can we do? We can put splitters on. And as I said, it's going to split them in half and have them go into the machine. We need 40 of them. So what I can do here is I'm going to put the splitter there. This one won't feed anymore, but that's okay. We'll split this one into 2, and then this last one here I can probably do this and then just split him, and we'll do that, and I'll put a trash can there. Oops, that didn't work. Don't know why I did that. Alright, so these two, both sides are going in. This one, both sides are going in. This one's not feeding anything, and this one is trashing half of it. We're waiting for 40 of them. You can see there's only 2 shapes, but there's colours. So that's coming sometime soon. Now I've played a fair chunk of this. I got up to about level 9, I think. And you can see we just jumped between 2 and 3 there. And we now have balancers, splitters, and etc. So because I was feeding the squares in, I've jumped a level basically. So we now have a balancer, can be used to split and merge items onto multiple belts. So I need to put these guys in. So I need to pretty much, let's run a couple like this. 1, 2, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these guys in. And that will allow, oh, come on, it will allow anything that's being made here to go into here. So this is only counting the right hand side. So the left hand sides are going in there, and it is smart enough to know which is a left and which is a right. But both items are going back. So if I wanted to save a belt here, I can put the thing like this, and then remove this belt. It will slow it down because the item's got to squeeze back in there, but you'll get both items on the one belt. What's this thing here? Okay, so we have the ability to do an upgrade. I think that music is a little loud, isn't it? I'm just trying to work out if I can get to the window I need. I can. Give me 1 second to just drop that down a touch. Good old Xbox overlay. One of the best things about it is the ability to change the sound level straight from an overlay. Right, so we can upgrade this guy and we will get faster belts, distributors, and tunnels. Okay. So everything's faster now. All of these guys are now running a lot faster. We're going for 120 of these. And then you can see that next upgrade is going to happen soon because we are pumping the squares in. So once that happens, we'll get faster extractors. We'll get more and more items being extracted and pumping into our hub. Shouldn't take too much longer. I mean, I could probably speed it up with another 1 or 2 of these guys. As I said, this does slow things down. Probably not fantastic to put it right against the splitter like this, because it doesn't give it any space to move. But you know, in the grand scheme of things, like I could now get rid of that guy and put that back like that. Delete that belt. Then we're not wasting anything, and then maybe I can like delete this one. Because I'm sure down the track we'll need more circles again, so I may as well keep them going in. Alright, so we now have a rotator. So it will rotate shapes clockwise by 90 degrees. Okay, so clockwise by 90 degrees. Now you can see these guys, we're not getting anything in here, because all these guys are sideways. So let's break this. And then let's just have a belt coming out of each of these. Now, if I rotate this once, it gives us the right direction, right? These ones will need to be rotated 3 times. So to do that, I'm actually going to need to go a little bit higher here. Okay. So it will need 1, 2, 3 should be correct. Yeah. And then I can put that guy in, and we'll be getting from 1, and you can see it's a slow feed here now because this is having to cut it, and things are taking a little bit longer, but we're getting our shapes through. And again, you could do the same here. I'd need a little bit more space, or probably do 1, should have held down the shift button, 2, 3, and then remove that splitter and put that there. And then the merge here. Cool. So we could do the same up here because we're going to need that ability. So let's rotate. Actually, 1, 2. I want to cut. I want I'm not sure how many we're going to need, right? Because this is top. Let's have a look in here. Need that one? No. This tells you how many items of each thing you have in there. We've got none of the up the top. So let us do this. It's not exactly what I wanted, but that's cool. For the moment, we can do the same of 1, 2, 3, and then merge it back together. Right, so that's going to put a lot of tops in, and I'm going to upgrade our extraction. Now, did you notice that one? Thank you, phone. The joys of forgetting to put my phone on silent. Alright, so we've just unlocked level 5. We now have the ability to tunnel under other belts. Quite handy. Looking at this, we need some bottom halves and some top right corners. So, how do we get bottom halves? We could rotate these ones over. We can do that. Let's go 1, 2. It'll be slower, but we're going to get the bottom halves. And then to do this, this is where we have a little bit of fun, right? So, let's get a bit of space. I want to come out of here, and I want to cut it in half. Come on. Okay. So, we're now going to have... No, can you go that way, please? Okay. We now need to rotate this one once. And that will give us top. Then I need to cut that in half. So let's just get rid of this for the moment. I then need to cut that one. Right? And we should get... I'm going to need to... What I'm going to do is just put it on trash here for the moment. Actually, I can bring a conveyor out like that. Okay, this one's correct. This one's not. We need to rotate this one once. And then we can probably merge the two back together and feed them in. Look at that. Okay, now we need to do the same here. This needs to be rotated at least once. So let's rotate it once. And then we'll get the belt out. Actually, you know what? Let's rotate it twice more and then cut it. See what we get. That one's correct. We need to rotate that one once and then merge them together. And we can come back up here and merge them together. All right. So it's a huge mess. It's coming from one, but we could change that too. So we could sit here and go, okay, I would like, push the right button. I would like you and you to be merged. And then get rid of that one. And we're pushing twice as many in. It's still not going to cut as fast. But at least we've got the input. But I mean, even this one's coming off one and having a bit of trouble. We're going to need... You know, why don't we? Let's see what we can do here. If I can get 2 lots cut. Oh, it's going to be a muck. It's going to be a muck around. So I probably don't need this, do I? Just need the one belt. But I could almost split that and bring it all back in again. But we're getting quite a few. We're almost halfway through that bit. But you can see just how much, and if you start looking through here, you look at what you can and can't do. So we're at Need the upside down ones. We're getting them here. These are still the tops. I guess I could probably fix this up and make them just be bottoms. Right, again, you know, these are things that, you know, we may need eventually. Items stored. The items that get stored get used. So every time when I clicked that upgrade, it actually used that number of items. You can see here we got to here. Nope, used it. None of these other ones have been used yet. And it's some nice stats here on how many we're producing a minute. At the moment we are producing 114 of these a minute. So by that standard, that would have taken us 4 minutes basically. Isn't too bad. So once we get this, we're going to unlock the ability to paint them. And you can see here we want one that's a blue. I don't know if that's a light blue. Yep, so blue, and I don't know what the copy key button does, but we will need to get blue ink, but there's no blue. Oh, it's all the way out here. So if we wanted to do blue, those guys, we are going to need this stuff in here. So let's grab some blue. Let's bring it in. How messy it is. All right, we now have the ability to paint items, and it's cool that there's a colorblind mode. Very nice. Well done, Dev. So to paint items, I don't know why that's still up there. Can you go away? Thank you. To paint items, oh, that's because I had the item open. Duh. We are going to need to plop down a painter. This one wants red circles, and it's going to unlock counterclockwise rotating. So to do red circles, we want a painter. Painter looks like this, and you can swap its input, I believe. Rotate building. You're away. No, I think, oh yeah, here it is. T to cycle variance. So if I want to push T, I can have color coming in the side here from this mine, and then have a circle coming from here, right? So we go all the way around and in here, and yes, my belts are terrible. And that will produce red circles. Yeah. Again, we can do the old, we now have the ability to tunnel. So if I want to, I can produce a second one of these guys and go under here, like this. Put this here, put the painter there, and then just have a splitter. And we can have a merge. So we'll be getting 2 of them. Again, it's slow, and we could probably, what would be nice would be like a copy paste gadget where you can just go, whoosh, I want all of this. Can I do that? Control and select area. Copy. Push the C button. Oh, so later on, we'll be able to copy and place blueprints. So you can just go and spam out a whole range of painters, right? So you could do this dunk, 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 dunk along, and all of a sudden be creating masses of what you need. Let's look at this guy, because mixing and painting speed really does need to be upgraded. So let's look at doing this. So I'm going to need some squares, and I'm going to need them upright. So what I might do, I'm going to use this setup here. We've got the blue coming in. Let's remove these. I'm just using the right mouse button to delete all that. And what we should get here, I'll move over this way, we should get, and that's the left hand side, and that's the right hand side. So we need the right. So let's do 1, 2, and then do we merge them or just let them go? Okay, anyway, let's get some painters. We're going that direction. Paint's coming from that side. We're going to go 1. Let's just do 2 for the moment. And I'm going to do an underground. And what I'm going to have here is that like that. And we're going to bring really messy. Going to bring belts up like this. And we're going to go from here to here. Like so. This is going to come out really, really terribly. It's going to come out this way. This is going to come out this way. We'll make a merge. And then I should be able to go 1, 2. Yeah. And then from here into there. And we should be getting these guys. We need 1,500 of them, but we'll be getting them. So once we get 4K of this, we'll get faster extraction. Once we get 1.2K, 1,000, 1,200, we'll go faster belts again. So we're still looking at the 800 unlock of red circles. So again, we could expand this some more. This is fairly backed up, and you can see this could end up being a game of balancing. So if you're a hardcore Factorio player, you'd be right up there with creating perfectly balanced input outputs. I am not a hardcore Factorio player. I've played a fair bit, just not an immense amount, if that makes sense. So I could probably, I'm not sure, we can check what we can produce out of 1 here. And I'll do what I did earlier and go, actually we'll go up 1, we'll go under. Oh no, I haven't put them quite far apart enough that I want what I want to do. Kind of need them 3 apart, so let's start again. Oop, hold down shift, 3 apart. Nice. And then I want, what I'll have is splitter. And then these guys will actually go under like this. Like so. And then we'll have our red dye coming in like that. And then we can bring our circles in the other direction. So again, we'll have, I guess, some splitters. We'll start with 1 and we'll see what we get. Let's build this guy. Like that. And that's probably about the best place for this one to go, is like that. Let's go actually back out 1. Like that. Okay, so we've got 1 happening. And it's very slowly backing up. So let's run the other side, because we have put the splitter in. And we'll run back like that. Okay. Still backing up? Not quite. Okay, so the conveyor belt can hold 4 items a second. A painter can do 0.33 items a second. So we should be able to get 1, actually what does an extractor do? 0.8 a second. So, okay, we maybe run 2 off 1 extractor at this point. The belts aren't the limitation here, the extractor is, so we're getting 0.66 from the painter and 0.8 out of one of these. So you can almost run 3. Almost. and this red will not keep up with what we've got. So we would need a merge like that. Right, get rid of that one so we can get the 2 in here. The merge can do 8 items a second, the balancer I should say. So that's fine, that'll keep us going. We could probably do the same here and put a merge on here and get the double input. See, this is now backed up. So to do this, I would again need and then back. Again, this is probably quite ugly. Balanced. Balanced. Let's get this going like that. It's still not going to be great, but with the amount of space you have, and you've got tons, you can produce quite a large factory array, just over halfway. Quite a large factory array from, you know, the whole area. So I could build this circle generation down here, and I could build painting squares of all types over here, and you know, you could bring all your colors to a certain spot and have a painting hub or whatever. I think it'd be smart to have blue, red, and green squares or whatever, and then bring them in on a belt. That being said, there is mixing and painting, so we will have a point where you'll need to create, I don't know, purple, red, and blue. So there's going to be that extension to it, and quite honestly, the amount of time I've played this, I did get a little bit further than I have just in this video, but I can see the expansion itself. We still have two more tools to unlock down here, and I think one is the alternate rotation, so counterclockwise, which is what we're about to unlock, and then the other one is paint mixing. But you can imagine you can unlock blueprints, and you could go, right, I'm going to make this, and here's my dyeing area. Boop, done. And then you just feed in whatever material, whatever color, and away it goes. And again, you could expand this fairly exponentially, as long as you do it a little bit more pretty than I have. But really, if you're into the factory mechanics, you like a bit of Factorio, or, you know, I guess if you've been watching my Manufactio series, you're probably into factories in general. Go and check this game out. As I said, it's only a couple of bucks. It's worth it in my opinion. It looks like the further you go in, there are more and more complex shapes, and you can just see that a little bit from this. So I'm guessing there's cutting, rotating, and stacking. You know, maybe there's merging items back together. Maybe there's all sorts of different stuff, but I can see people doing main buses in this, like in Factorio. I can see all sorts of stuff. It's very, very similar and very light on the resources. So check it out. Follow the links down below. Thanks to the devs for providing a key, and yeah, really great little game. Just to honestly waste a few hours just trying to manufacture everything to the nth degree, and as I said before, it gives you speeds direct off the tooltip. Alright, I'm going to wrap up. Thanks everyone for watching. Check out the game. Comments below. And I'll see you next time. Bye now.